Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Wooski coming at you with a banger ass story time. All right, so this happened all in 2022. I don't know how big COVID was at this point, so I was still going to school, but we were in mass. So like, I have no idea. All I know is I was in school, right? So this happened on a Monday, all right. Mondays always sucked for me, but I had to deal with my school at this point. I went to like an ALC break off school, so like I only had like 15, 20 people in my school, and I had made a deal with my dean and a few of my teachers in the morning to come in at 9:30, right? But my school started at like 7:15. I can't lie, like 7:30, I think, or so. I don't even remember. It was some early ass time, and I would never wake up for that shit, right? Because I would always stream till like 3 a.m. and then I'd wake up at like fucking 8, and then I'm missing school, right? And I would always get marked down for that shit, right? So I had made a deal with them that I can come in at 9:30, right? So I'd woken up at 8:30 on this day, and I decided that I was gonna take a shower right away, right? So usually before I took a shower, I was a little delinquent at this point. I would always drink before school, or like I don't drop acid or some dumb shit, right? But this fateful day, I decided that I was going to go in sober, right? So I took my shower, but I did bring my acid and my weed with me to school, right? So this school was not a very strict school. They weren't going to just search you for no reason. So I didn't really fucking care about bringing anything to school. Even if they did, this school was so fucking dumb to the point where, like, if they did try to search me, I would honestly just walk the fuck out. Like, I would have been out of there, down the street, and at my friend's house. Like, this was in the middle of my fucking town, right? My friend's house was 2 minutes away. My other friend's house was 5 minutes away. Like, I am good. I'm just walking out that door, right? So I brought all this shit to school. Like I said, I went to school around 9:30, but on this day, my mom had took me around 8:45 just because I was ready by then. And I was there by like 9:10, 9:15 because I stopped to get food, right? So I had gotten there, and immediately I see two of my friends sitting at this table. Like I said, or no, I don't think I even said this. My whole school is filled with my friends. Not like friends that like I met there. Like they sent like all of my friends to this school without knowing that we were friends, because we never like talked to anyone. We didn't talk to each other that much. Like we just literally did our own thing, bro. And we were never in each other's classes. So like we didn't talk to each other. But they ended up sending half of us to this fucking break off school, right? Because we were all dumbasses and literal stupid idiots that we had to go to this school. Like we had no other choice. It was this school or we get like I don't know, expelled. I don't know what the other choice was, but it was not good. So we all just decided to go to school, right? So like I said, I immediately seen two of my friends sitting there. So we're gonna call one of them Ashley, all right, and the other one, fuck, I don't know a dude's name. Ricky, right? So Ashley and Ricky are sitting there, and I immediately walk over to them. Now, Ricky and Ashley, we all have, okay, me, Ricky, and Ashley, and one of our other friends that didn't go to the school would all hang out, like, in fucking fifth, sixth grade, seventh grade, like, all the time, right? So this wasn't a normal, or it wasn't an odd thing to see these two together. Like, this was our group, right? But at this time, fucking Ricky's girlfriend hated fucking Ashley for no apparent reason, all right? So Ashley was literally just one of our friends. Ashley is still a really good friend of mine. Literally, that is it. Ashley is a good-ass friend, bro. And Ricky's girlfriend was tweaking about this. So the only time that we could all really hang out was at school, right? So we're all hanging out at this table, right? So, like I said, I come in late, and one of my classes out in this, like, commons area, and that's the class that we are all in right now. So I just walk over to the table and I sit down. My teacher walks over and gives me this book ass paper that I'm obviously not going to do, right? I don't know why. Just in this time in my school, I was not doing shit, and like they were just passing me because they knew I wasn't going to do anything, which is very fucked up. If you're in school, actually do something, and if they're just passing you for doing nothing, that is bad. That is a really bad sign, and that should make you want to do something, right? So she put this paper in front of me. She already knew I wasn't going to do it. I think it was a he. It was definitely a he. I don't know why I said she. So he put this paper in front of me, and he obviously knew I wasn't going to do it. But I don't know. He gave it to me anyway, just to let it sit there and make it look like I was going to do it. So all this paper see, and I get to talking to Ashley, right? So Ashley had never really taken acid, and she had like, I don't even know, dude. Like, she had a pass with like shrooms, I think, and she didn't like it or something. So like, I didn't even ask her to drop any with me. I was just like, hey, like, what are you doing after school? I'm trying to take this acid. Like, can I come over? Type shit. She's like, yeah, like sure, all right, yeah. So Ricky is like a straight person. Ricky is a such good guy. I still talk to Ricky sometimes to this day. Ricky didn't smoke. He barely vaped. He didn't take any psychedelics any point in his life. Ricky is a really good person, right? I don't know why Ricky hanged out with us, but I had been friends with Ricky before all this shit, right? So I get why he's friends with me, but I don't know why he's friends with Ashley. Like, I had no fucking idea, right? Maybe just because she was there. No idea, right? So Ricky was just hearing this shit, and he's immediately calling me a dumbass, right? So Ricky is one of my, like I said, oldest friends, bro. And Ricky had like never really, I guess, been around me doing this until I had gone to this school, and he had like heard all this shit. Because like I said, we didn't talk to each other in school, and like I had never really gone to school. When I was actually like in a public school with like, I think our school had like, dude, like 700 people in that bitch. I only went literally like 3 times a month so I could avoid truancy, and they still tried to give me truancy, bro. So Ashley was like, yeah, you can come over, whatever. And Ricky's like, yeah, I don't know. I think I'll probably just go home. And I was like, all right, bro. Like, yeah, I don't expect you to come over anyway because of your girl, bro. So we get to doing our homework. And like I said, I wasn't going to work on the sheet of paper. So Ashley always did my shit for me. It was either Ashley did it or I just turned that bitch in blank and they passed me anyway. I have no idea why Ashley even bothered to do shit or why they passed me. If they would have just failed me and kept me back, I would have done something, bro. I would have learned, because literally I'd never been held back. I don't know how I passed any grades, dude. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not dumb. I just don't want to do homework, bro, and I don't want to do like anything. But thank God this school wasn't like homework. You didn't take anything home. Like you went there with nothing and you left with nothing. Like always, they didn't let you take shit home unless it was like a fucking like poster you completed and you already got that shit graded. Then you could take it home and hang it up in your goddamn fridge, right? So I immediately get to like making Ashley do this paper. I don't know why she even did it sometimes. She really shouldn't have done that shit, but it was like some easy ass shit all the time. Like I said, we were in like an ALC breakout school. We were in like 8th grade at this point learning fucking like long division. Like we were learning long division over in it. I swear to God on everything. We were learning long division, bro. It was so fucked up, right? So I decided that I want to go for a walk. So we always had walks. I don't know what the reasoning behind the walks were, because I had never gone to a school where you would just like drop our shit and just go on a walk. But shit, this school would you go on walks like once or 2 times a day, and we also had outside time where we go play basketball, right? So I asked if we can go on a walk. He's like, yeah, we can go in like 10 minutes. So I'm hyped for this walk, right? So this was the only time I could hit my cart and my vape. So whenever I go to the bathroom, so I got sent to this school because of like vaping and smoking weed and just being a dumbass in my other school. So whenever I went to the bathroom, they had someone stand in there with me, bro. Not like in there, but like so he knew what I was doing type shit. Like I couldn't just pull out my cart and just rip that bitch or else he would know, right? So the only time I could really do anything was on our walks, because all 15, 20 of us would go outside and I would just hit that bitch in my sleeve, right? And he can't see shit. He's walking in front of us, right? So we go on our walk about 10 minutes later, and I start ripping my fucking vaping cart, bro. Like, this is my favorite time of the day. These 2 walks in the outside recess time is my favorite part of the day, because I get to this chief, right? So I get the chief in my fucking shit. And at this point, dude, I don't even know what time it is, bro. I think we go on our first walk around like 1 or 2, and I always ask to go on it early, but we always go like around 1 or 2, and then we eat, and then we go outside again, and then we come back inside. We do like 20 minutes of our class, and we go back outside for another walk, right? Or like that's how it would go most times, right? And that's how it went this day, right? So we get back from our lunchtime. Nothing happened during. So what I would do during my lunch and recess time, me, Ashley, and Ricky would either go play basketball or we would sit by the fucking like grass by our school. We would just sit there and hit our carts and vapes and be on our phones, or we would go back inside and just chill, because we had like a room that we could just chill in, or we go on to compete. Like we could do so much shit during our lunchtime. Like it was free ass time. We had 45 minutes of it, or like 30, 45 minutes of it. So nothing really happened during that time. So we came in and we go to our history class, or at least I went to my history class. I think Ashley came with me. I think Ricky had some other I don't even know, some stupid ass class that I didn't take, right? So me and Ashley were in history, and we're just sitting there scheming about what we're going to do after school, right? So we had planned that we were going to go to Ashley's house, but immediately I get the idea, right? I was like, wait. Do you want to go to the library? She's like, yeah. Like, let's go to the fucking library, right? So where our school is 2 minutes from this library, right? And this library is pretty sick. So this library, you walk in, at least it was sick at this point. When I was like really young and going to this library, it was so bad. It was so bad. But now it's pretty good, all right? So at this point, This library was pretty decked out. So you walk in and there's okay. This kind of fucked me one time. I will make a story telling this. This honestly didn't happen that long ago. I walked in this library not knowing that they had metal detectors. I should have known because all libraries have metal detectors. I'm pretty sure. At least they're in my area. And I got fucked. Let's just say that I got fucked. All right. But anyway, my bad. I muted my mic. So we had got to this library. Me and Ashley decided that we were going to go to the conference room. So when you walk in this library, there's two big metal detectors, and then you walk up the left to the stairs to this conference room, right? Me and Ashley go in this conference room. So me and Ashley are just chilling for a little bit, and I decided that I'm going to pop these tabs, right? So this was my whole plan. I want to take these tabs either right, like when I got out of school, or when I got to this library, or if I went to Ashley's house, I was going to pop them when I got there, right? So I popped these tabs. I only popped 2.5, but I'm not going to lie, that shit got me right, all right? So I popped these tabs, and about 10 minutes later, Ashley asked if I want to get some food. All right, so the only really place that we can get food around us that like is walking distance is this pizza place, the Subway, and then the gas station. But the gas station is like called this Quick Trip, and they have like really good hot food. So we decided that we're gonna go to Quick Trip and get food and drinks, and then just go to her house, right? So we get food and drinks, and then we go to her house. Her house is like a 10-minute walk from the gas station, 10-15 minute walk. And on the way back, I get to feeling it, right? So I'm walking across this street, and I just immediately, like, I start feel like I'm ghosting. Like, do you guys know when you're, like, on a bad PC or, like, a bad, like, over, like, running fucking monitor, you get ghosting? I just feel like I'm ghosting, dude. Like, I look, and then something, like, fades. And then, like, I look the other way, and something else fades. It literally feels like I'm ghosting IRL, right? So I'm just walking across the street. I don't really mind it at first because I'm like, dude, I'm just fucking tweaking, dude. Like, whatever. So I'm just walking behind Ashley. And I like get this like weird ass feeling like I don't even know how to explain it at this point, but like it was like the ghosting feeling on crack, bro. Like I immediately start feeling like I'm lagging, dude. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I'm like, dude, what is happening, bro? So in my head, I'm like, let me hit my cart to mellow this out, right? So I get to hit my cart, bro, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it did mellow me out for like 10-15 minutes until we got to her house, or like 10 minutes until we got to her house. I sat on her bed, and this is where it really started, right? So she asked if I want to smoke a bowl. I'm like, yeah, like I'm down, whatever. So we always smoked in her house, and to be this young smoking in your house is really bold, all right? I'm not gonna. And her parents got mad, dude. I'm not gonna like. She lived with her grandparents. They got mad. I'm pretty sure. I don't even know, but they would get mad, all right? So we decide that we're gonna spark up this bowl, and I'm immediately like, before we even smoke this bowl, I'm dead ass like lagging, bro. Like I'm watching her walk around her room, just grabbing all this shit, bro, and I'm just looking around. I'm dead ass like, I feel like I'm in a video game, and I'm like trapped down, and I'm on like 2 FPS looking around, dude. Like, it was so fucking weird, bro. So I'm just tripping fucking balls at this point, dude. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Like, honestly, I would have rather stayed at the library at this point, dude. So I'm just laying on her fucking bed, bro, and we're smoking this bowl. And like I said, I feel like I'm on 2 FPS, bro. So it takes me a little bit to hit this fucking bowl, right? Like, I'm genuinely tweaking, bro, but I still want to smoke because I think it's going to mellow me out. Literally, I'm dead ass serious. This was probably not mellowing me out. The weed was probably making me fucking worse, right? So in my head, though, it's mellowing me out. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna smoke this shit. So I'm on 2 FPS just sitting over here. She decides she's gonna put on a movie. I could not recall what fucking movie was on the TV because I was tripping balls, bro. I honestly could not recall half the events that happened because I was tripping balls. So I'm sitting here just absolutely tweaking off this acid, dude, watching this fucking movie that I can't make out because I'm literally, like I said, dude, I'm swear to God, I'm on 2 FPS, bro. My fucking, it is terrible, bro. My FOV has turned fucking all the way to 120, and it is terrible, right? So I'm fucking sitting here, and I'm tweaking my fucking ass off. So she says, hey, do you want to go outside for a walk? And at this point where I live, it is honestly pretty nice out. So I'm like, yeah, like that might make me better. And she was like, yeah, like let's go outside. So we have 2 longboards. She had like 8 of them, but we have 2 longboards that we use like all the time because they were like bent in the middle and it would go fast as shit. Probably wasn't a good idea for me at this point, but I went on this bitch, right? So I immediately start like going on this longboard. I immediately start feeling nauseous. I don't know why. I never really got like either car sick. I never really got nauseous from movements, but I started getting really fucking nauseous, right? But I never ended up throwing up. So I'm just on this longboard behind her, and she's a little tryhard at this shit, bro. She decides to fucking longboard down like these long fucking hills all the way. Like, she does some sketchy shit. I think. To my attention, from what I've seen, she does some sketchy shit, right? She's fast with it, all right? I'm not. I'm a little fucking, I can't do shit on that thing, right? So we're just longboarding, and I think, I don't know exactly where we went, but it was somewhere behind her neighborhood in like this cul-de-sac thing, bro. And we're just sitting there for a little bit, and like I said, dude, I'm on 2 FPS. So I'm looking around, and there's like this pond to my left and like a bridge thing to my right, and I'm dead ass tweaking, dude. I'm like, where the fuck am I? I'm like looking around, dude. It feels like I'm playing like fucking like Deer Hunter or some shit, bro. Like I feel like I'm tweaking at this point, dude. So I'm like, hey, I think I'm probably gonna go home soon. And she's like, okay, yeah, like it's fine. Like it's probably like 6 o'clock at this point. So we longboard back to her house. Like I said, we literally went behind her neighborhood. But honestly, it took us probably 15 minutes to get back on a longboard because I was tweaking, dude, and I was going slow as shit, and I just genuinely couldn't fucking like move any of my bones like right. Like it was so bad. I was tweaking. So we get back to her house, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna call my dad, right? And so I honestly did not call my dad. I'm gonna be honest. I texted my dad, all right, and I asked him if he could come get me. So the reason why I didn't call my dad is because my parents knew I tripped at this point, and they hated Ashley and they hated like all that friend group because they knew that like that's where I got it from, and like not really got it from, but that's where it influenced me and that's where I would do it. So I text my dad if he can pick me up, because if I called him, he would have known and he would have not came to pick me up. He would have left me to rot, right? So I text him to come pick me up, and he's like, yeah, I'll be there in like 10 minutes. So my dad pulls up, and at this point, I know I can't really, like, show that I'm tweaking. So I put my hoodie over my head, and I put my backpack in the front of me. So I don't know if you guys have ever done that, like put your backpack in the front of you, like you're a fucking pregnant woman with your baby carrier or whatever. But I put my backpack in front of you, my hood up, just so, like, I don't know. I did that shit a lot, and I could just go in the car and look down, right? So I get in the front seat, and he's like, do you want any food or anything? I'm like, nah, I'm just tired, and like I just want to go home. Like I just didn't sleep for like all day. That was always my excuse. So he knew I streamed and he knew I did all this shit, and I just always would say, yeah, no, I just haven't slept today. So oh okay. So I just put my head down and I get to fucking just sitting there, right? So like I said, I didn't live too far from like this school in like downtown. It was like a 10-minute drive from my house. So we pull up to my house, and I go to my room, and I immediately sit on my fucking bed, right? I don't know why. Whenever I'm tripping, my house and my room, and like where my old room was my safe place. Whenever like I was tripping too hard, or I didn't like my trip, I would just go to my room, and I would sit down, and I would just recoup. I would reboot, and like then I would just do whatever. So I sat on my bed for about like honestly 20-30 minutes, and I got my PC, and I just started playing fucking Fortnite, right? That's basically all that happened this night. As soon as I got home, I was honestly I was chilling. I think it was just like the environment I was in, and like I don't know. I would generally I was on 2 FPS, guys. Like it was bad. Anyway, oh my god, excuse me. Anyway, it's been Wooski. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna be trying to drop an IRL video this weekend. Well, let's hope. All right, let's fucking hope. I bought a fucking gimbal, and I'm gonna try to make a video this weekend, but no promises. All right, but anyway, thank you for watching. It has been Wooski, and I'm out.